Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial. My name is Quanton. Today I will be showing you an easy way to draw a fur coat. First of all, we will be using a few pre-made Clip Studio brushes, so head to Clip Studio Assets and from there you can search up fur and go to the popular tab, and from there click on the first and the third icon. Those are the two that I downloaded and that I will be using for this tutorial. Nonetheless, you can use whichever else you would like for your own and experiment. After picking out a reference, I continued to sketch my character and the fur coat, and from there I started inking as well as coloring the piece. Then, using the brush that we downloaded from the Clip Studio Assets, I picked the brush number 5 and proceeded to color the coat. I started first with the pieces that are on the back, such as the back of the sleeve, that's not going to be shown once I put the front layer, so I'm not worried for any mistakes. Then I moved on to the back sides of the coat, or rather the sides of the coat, but it's going to be hidden by the front piece of the fur. And then I continued on with the right side as well as her right arm sleeve. Then I used the brush to color in the front part of the fur, the left side and then the right side, before continuing on with the rest of the coloring. When I finished coloring the fur parts of the coat, I proceeded with the basic, and I was satisfied with the way it looked. I proceeded with the basic shapes of the coat. To do that, I picked a different color, a lighter one. I created a new layer and I selected the selection tool and proceeded to create shapes around the places that I had sketched before where her coat is supposed to be. So I painted her arms, her sleeve, behind her dress. In this step you could also make the layer behind the character itself, so that you would just paint the back side and you wouldn't have problems or issues with it being in front of her dress. And I continued by adding the other sleeve as well as the back side behind her fingers. After that stage, I created a new layer setting to multiply, and I picked a red darker color in order to create the coat's shadows. I added the very basic shapes and before finishing with it off camera. Then, from the Skin Glare Light brushes that we downloaded, I picked out the fur brush. I created a new layer, set it to add, and I proceeded to paint the lighter colors of the fur in order to make it shine and more realistic. You can skip this step if you'd like, but I like the way it makes it look more rendered. I continued on with the rest of her jacket, and then because I found it a bit too much, I took the eraser tool and I erased some parts in order to make it look a little bit more natural. And then once I was satisfied with the result, I added the background as well as some extra shines and lights, and it was done. And this is how you can make a fur coat easily using Clip Studio brushes. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and let me know if you would like to see something else in the future.